8 guests on Dr. Phil who were completely delusional. Subscribe to the channel and comment down below saying, "I subscribed," to enter this month's shoutout giveaway. Number 8. Danielle Bregoli. It's hard to think of Dr. Phil without Danielle and her signature "Cash me outside" catchphrase popping into your mind. Danielle's mom told Dr. Phil that her daughter was completely out of control and she didn't know what else to do. Danielle smiled as she bragged about stealing her mom's credit cards and car. She had no remorse for the anguish she was causing her family. She also threatened to fight both Dr. Phil and the audience, although no one was impressed with her tough front. As Dr. Phil revealed, Danielle actually carried a lot of fear and pain in her heart. Her parents divorced, and her mother survived cancer twice. Danielle slept in her mother's bed most nights. It seemed her bad girl act was simply a defense mechanism against the pain of almost losing her mom. Danielle was catapulted to fame when videos of her bratty behavior went viral. She now performs under the stage name Bad Baby. She owes some of her success to her shocking interview on the show.
Dude, they never catch me. Ain't nobody gonna catch me.
Because you're too streetwise?
Yup. Catch me outside, how about that?
Catch you outside?
Number 7. Peyton and David. Brave Peyton appeared on the Dr. Phil show to try to make peace with her father, David. David is a member of the Ku Klux Klan. His daughter looks back on her childhood and recalls praise of Hitler, white supremacist rants, and even burning crosses. David was imprisoned after planning to bomb an abortion clinic. After his release, he found that his daughter Peyton had given birth to her first child. A loving father would be overjoyed to meet his grandson, but David refuses to acknowledge his grandchild is even human. According to David, his biracial grandson can't be his family. He disowned his lovely daughter Peyton, leaving her feeling abandoned. David was so hateful and shocking that he certainly won't be forgotten anytime soon.
He'd say white power, hell, Hitler. He'd throw his symbols up, and I didn't understand.
Number 6. Little Mackenzie. Little girls are made of sugar and spice and everything nice, right? Well, it turns out that not every little girl is the paragon of sweetness society expects. Many children suffer from difficult behavioral problems and even mental health conditions. Little Mackenzie seems to be suffering, and her behavior is impacting her family. During her interview with Dr. Phil, Mackenzie's mother describes horrific behavior at home. Mackenzie had thrown scissors at her teacher, attacked her bus monitor, and called her mother some rough names. She also attacked family pets and had been aggressive to her infant brother. Mackenzie had been given several different diagnoses, but her mother was still struggling to control her dangerous behavior.
My daughter's on the verge of a nervous breakdown and I'm scared.
Number 5. Patricia. This guest shocked the audience and Dr. Phil alike with her outrageous lies and delusion. Patricia told her friends and family that she was dying from stage 3 brain cancer, and that's not the only lie she told about her health. She also claims to have lost 100 pounds in 1 week. Patricia says she's had more than a dozen strokes, and she even took money from fundraising events for her alleged medical expenses. There is no evidence at all that Patricia was ever sick. Dr. Phil painstakingly reviewed her medical records with her to prove she wasn't dying. Even that couldn't convince Patricia that she wasn't terminally ill.
My mother did a local news story telling everyone that she had stage 3 cancer, that she was going to die.
Number 4. Inesca. All talk shows seek ratings through sensational guests. 12-year-old Inesca was as adorable as she was frightening. She had displayed so much violent and disturbing behavior that her siblings and parents no longer felt safe around her. On the show, Inesca herself appeared calm as Dr. Phil discussed her life with her. Her expression barely changed as she described finding a nest full of baby birds and crushing each one to death. That wasn't the first time little Inesca had killed an animal in cold blood either. She also beat the family hamster to death with a heavy metal flashlight.
My behavior is pretty bad. Violence, physical abuse, verbal abuse.
Number 3. Burke Ramsey. Burke Ramsey's famous interview with Dr. Phil stirred up quite the controversy. The older brother of late child pageant star Jean-Benet came to Dr. Phil to finally share his side of the story. Burke was the only member of his family to have never addressed his sister's murder to the public. On the 20th anniversary of her death, he felt it was finally time to come forward and clear up some misconceptions surrounding the killing and investigation. Many questioned Burke's behavior during the interview. He awkwardly smiled while he described the events surrounding his sister's death. Many found this strange and speculated as to why he would act that way. Dr. Phil addressed this to the audience. His analysis of the situation was that Burke was simply nervous.
Wouldn't the Ramseys speak to the police?
The magazines have written that Burke or his mom did it. Why did they have these headlines if it isn't true?
Was Jean-Benet being sexually abused?
Number 2. Mama June. Mama June is unforgettable no matter what the context, and her appearance on Dr. Phil is no exception. The reality star mom came on the show to address several scandals surrounding her family. Mama June was accused of welcoming a man back into her life after he was convicted and imprisoned for sexually assaulting her daughter Anna. Allegations were made that June had allowed her youngest daughter Alana, also known as Honey Boo Boo, to sleep in bed with the sexual predator during a trip to North Carolina. If that weren't awful enough, Mama June took her betrayal of Anna to another level as she allegedly drained her trust fund too. Number 1. Zachary Davis. Zachary Davis may have been Dr. Phil's most disturbing guest to date. When he was only 15 years old, Zachary bludgeoned his mother to death with a sledgehammer. The young man's mental health was obviously unwell during his interview on the show. He recounted his actions during the grisly murder of his mother as if he were describing folding laundry. The interview disturbed viewers and gave them a rare glimpse into the personality of a cold-blooded killer. Zachary spoke to Dr. Phil in a flat, monotone whisper. It was obvious to Dr. Phil that Zachary exhibited symptoms of mental illness.
Did you kill your mother?
Yeah.
This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.